Hello, team players. So, next week I'm going to be taking a break from YouTube. I have quite a few reasons for this, not the least of which is burnout. Yes, I've been running this channel for 3 years, and I'm finally starting to run into some burnout. So, you guys won't see me next week. However, when I do come back, I'll have a Halloween build all ready for you guys. But before that, I gotta cover the archetype I'm going to be using in that build, which is, of course, the Undead Master. Let's dive in. So this archetype's dedication gives you a young animal companion. This starts with the same rules as a normal animal companion, which I'll probably cover at some point after the remaster. More than likely during my Druid series, when I get to that. But because the animal companion that you get from this feat is an undead companion, it gains a few benefits and drawbacks. For example, these companions have negative healing and are immune to death, poison, and disease. In addition, they aren't automatically destroyed when they hit 0 hit points. Instead, they follow the same rules for dying as living creatures. In addition, a lot of undead companions are mindless, meaning they aren't affected by mental effects, so that fear condition is off the table. But that also means they're immune to beneficial mental effects as well, such as a bard's inspired courage. Also, because they are mindless, even if they gain the ability to use actions when you don't command them, they can only repeat the last action you commanded them to do, as they can't think on their own. Also, the only skills that a mindless undead companion can have are acrobatics and athletics. Also, a mindless undead companion that takes a specialization, which we'll talk about later in this video, can't take any specialization that would raise its intelligence or give it skills other than acrobatics or athletics. It also can't use any abilities that require it to have a mind, think, or make a decision. Also, the Undead Master archetype does allow you to have more than one animal companion. However, you can only have one active at one time at this point. The rest are considered inactive and are tucked away in a tomb or something like that. If you ever have more than one companion, you gain the Call Companion activity, allowing you to spend 1 minute calling a different companion to you, replacing your active one with one of your inactive ones. Of course, the base stats of your undead companion depend on what type of companion you first. But other than that, and the undead benefits and drawbacks I just covered, all animal companions essentially work the same. Additional companion gives you exactly what it sounds like, an additional animal companion. Of course, in this case, it's an additional undead companion. You can take this feat up to 3 times to have up to 4 animal companions. But remember, only one of them is active at one time, which means you can only use one in combat and in exploration at one time. Next, we've got Mature Beastmaster Companion, which in my opinion should be called Mature Undead Companion, but hey. Basically, every animal companion you have becomes a mature animal companion, whether it's from this archetype, the Beastmaster archetype, or if you got an animal companion from another source, such as being a druid. This increases some of its ability scores, some of its skills, and its damage, in addition to increasing its size if it's medium or smaller. In addition, we also have the Companion's Cry feat, allowing you to spend 2 actions on your turn to give your animal companion 3 actions. Thus, we can allow our animal companion to do more at the cost of our action. It ends up being the same action economy. It's just, with Companion's Cry, we can allow our animal companion to do more instead of ourselves. Next up, we have Guardian Ghosts. As a reaction, once per 10 minutes, if one of your undead companions is adjacent to you, you can reduce the damage you take from a strike by 2 plus your level. However, your undead companion takes this damage instead. If you have more than one adjacent companion, you choose which one loses the hit points. However, you cannot combine this feat with the Their Master's Call feat, which I'll cover later. Basically, this is a good defensive option, especially if you're taking this archetype with something like a spellcaster. Like maybe a witch or a wizard, something with low hit points and low AC. But remember, at the end of the day, this is a reaction, which means it's a once per round thing. And on top of that, this is a once per 10-minute thing. So even if you do have something that allows you to use multiple reactions per round, you still can't use this more than once per combat. And then of course we do have incredible Beastmaster Companion, allowing us to choose for each of our companions whether to make them a nimble or savage companion. This includes any companions that become mature after we take this feat. So even if somehow we get a mature animal companion after we take this feat, we can still choose to make them nimble or savage because of this feat. Their Master's Call allows you to use both your companions at the same time. For one action, you can call a fragment of one of your inactive companions to a square within 30 feet of you. This grants you its support benefit for 1 round. However, if this fragment takes any damage before your next turn, the fragment disappears and the support benefit ends immediately. So if you use this right, you can have 2 support benefits from 2 companions at the same time, which if you have the right 2 companions can be extremely overpowered. But you do have to have the inactive companion's remains or anchor in your possession to use this action, which essentially means you can't store it in a nearby tomb or something like that. Which honestly, if we're being technical, you do kind of want to have these in your possession anyway, as storing the remains or anchor in some area nearby will just make things complicated. Next at level 14, we've got Specialized Beastmaster Companion, making all your animal companions specialized. There's too many specializations to go over in this video. However, just know that each of your animal companions can have up to 3 specializations. So you can take this feat multiple times. And each time you do, you can select 1 specialization for each of your companions. And they can be different. So essentially, you can take this feat 3 times and have 3 specializations for all of your companions that are, of course, nimble or savage. And the last feat for this archetype is Lead the Pack. This feat allows you to have up to 2 active companions at one time. However, there are downsides to this. First off, if you don't command an animal companion that round, one of your animal companions can still use an action to stride or strike, but not both. If you do command an animal during that turn, then you can choose one of your animal companions to have 2 actions as normal, or you can choose to have 1 action for both your animal companions. However, either way, you cannot use command an animal to make either companion act on your next turn. So, you can have 2 active animal companions, but they're harder to command. So, overall, I have to say, this archetype is a lot like the Beastmaster archetype, but it does have some differences. First, there are a lot of undead companions that are mindless, which has its upsides and its downside. Also, this archetype allows you to use inactive companions more than the Beastmaster archetype, thanks in no small part to Their Master's Call. The bottom line is each archetype has its own strengths and weaknesses. But if you're not playing in society play and you're looking for a cool undead character, this might be an archetype for you. And yes, I know I didn't go too much into the animal companions, but that deserves its own video by itself. So if you guys want to see that video, let me know in the comments below. I may just do that after the remaster comes out. But in the meantime, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Pathfinder 2e teamwork content. You can also check out the links in the description below for my Patreon page as well as my social media. If you guys want to check out my Fear Tyrant Champion build I did 2 years ago, you can check out this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, teamwork is vital.